One of the most common flaws you see pitchers have that holds them back from their top command and top velocity is the late arm. Today I'm going to talk about 3 drills that can help you clean up the late arm, whether your arm is flat at landing, whether it's too far back towards second base or too far behind you. All of these drills should help you clean that up. I'm Craig Stem, performance coach at Tread Athletics. Let's get to work. Arm timing. What is good arm timing and why does it matter? The good arm timing is right when your front foot hits the ground. You want your arm to be perfectly flipped up at 90 degrees with your elbow completely in line with your shoulders. The reason this matters is sequencing of your delivery. When your front foot gets on the ground, what should be happening is that pelvis should be getting a little bit open and the torso should be closed, creating a little bit of hip-shoulder separation, as everybody likes to say. So the next thing that happens is the torso is gonna get pulled through by the pelvis. If your arm is up at 90 and relaxed and perfectly in line here, it allows that arm to just get pulled into external rotation, lay back, and get pulled into the perfect release point every single time, which leads to a lot more velocity and a very consistent release point, which can really help your command. If you're ever watching your own video and you see that right when your front foot hits the ground, your arm is flat like this, just know the result of this is gonna be your torso is gonna start to rotate as you flip. You're gonna flip over here, and you're not gonna have a lot of time to apply force to this ball. So the end of this throw is gonna be very much all arm, and it can lead to a lot of injuries as well as inconsistent command and less velo. This first concept I wanna talk about is how your front foot could actually be the reason your arm is a little bit late. We're talking about arm timing. It's only relative to the timing of your lower half and how they relate to each other. So if your front foot is on the ground and your arm is flat, theoretically, if you gave your front foot more time, it would buy your arm more time to get up and get into position. One of the most common flaws I see is that front foot spinning into landing. It's something that we have in our assessment here at Tread, so it's one of the first things I check. And if I mark a late arm being defined as my arm is down when my front foot hits the ground, whether it's here, 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 anywhere that's not flipped up to 90 degrees, that arm is late. If I also see the front foot getting open as soon as it gets on the ground, that's actually the problem that is causing the arm to be late. The reason for this is the front foot opening up to the catcher. Think my toe gets open to the catcher. When I do this move, you can see my back knee wants to rotate down to the ground. This is a very important part of the chain for a lot of guys. When that front foot opens, if you open it up right when your front foot is on the ground, your back leg is not going to be rotated down, which means your pelvis is not going to be open. And a very likely consequence of that is your arm is not going to be ready to throw. So by creating a little bit of space under that lead foot, you buy your back leg time to get down, you buy your pelvis time to get open, and you buy your arm time to get up. If you watch this video from a side view of me throwing 98 miles an hour, you can see when my front foot is open, I am not in the right positions, but by the time it gets on the ground, everything is cleaned up there. This is a very simple mechanic that a lot of guys get immediate gains from. A very simple way to think about this when you're throwing off the mound is to just imagine you're throwing on flat ground. Obviously right now I'm standing on a slope, so if I just imagine my stride being out, we have this platform here where you can see it's flat. I just think I want to step and land as if I'm stepping on that platform and not going downhill. That last little bit of the throw is simply just falling down the mound. Now this seems like a really easy thing to do. Just get your foot up in the air, right? But if you've been throwing like this for a long time, it's gonna be a tough thing to feel. So a constraint you can give yourself is take something. I have a yoga block. I've also used a rosin bag, a plyo ball, all kinds of different things. Just put something there so that in your brain you know you have to get up and over that. And then when you go make a throw, you will very likely get your foot up and over that yoga block and get into the ground with some rotation down. You may want to play around with some different leg lifts to figure out which one can get you a little bit more space under that lead foot. If you're a guy that kicks way out here, it's going to be really tough for you to get some air under this because it's already spinning into landing a ton. So you might need to change that to more of an out to in leg lift so it's really easy to get that front foot up. A really simple thought here is just think about keeping your lead foot underneath your pelvis a little bit as you get down the mound, and it makes it really easy to go up and down with that lead leg. So the next one is called the pendulum throw. This is a drill that I do every single day. I love it just for relaxing the arm into the throw. So the pendulum throw is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You're just gonna turn your arm into a pendulum and use the free energy that gravity allows to capture that energy, get that ball to flip up, and just try to time that up with your lower half. So with the pendulum, I like to do it with overloads. I'm just gonna start with my hand up in the sky like this, and all I'm gonna do is let it travel this way and then kill my arm, let it go dead, so that it just starts swinging and turning into a pendulum. You wanna let it swing all the way to your midline. As soon as it gets to the midline, you want to turn on as little tension as possible and just try to flip that arm up to 90 degrees. The timing aspect of this comes from when do I start the pendulum? How quickly do I get down the mound? You're going to have to do a couple of dry reps to find that perfect timing for when my front foot is on the ground, my arm is flipped up at 90 degrees right here. Lots of benefits to this drill, mostly around timing and relaxing into the throw. So a good pendulum rep will look just like this. You're gonna start at peak leg lift, let your arm go first, let it die, and then get down the mound. Do one more rep with a baseball. Ooh, that was butter. If you nail the rep, you should feel nothing in your arm. You should feel like the entire throw is driven by the rotation of your torso, and your arm just gets pulled to the perfect release point every single time. Now this next one is for my guys whose arm travels too far somewhere and gets stuck. Whether you get to the bottom of your arm action and you bring it back towards second base, so at foot strike you're way outside 90 degrees, or maybe you counter rotate your torso a little bit and you get stuck back here and you can't flip from back here. Even trying to flip from this super deep position, I could feel it on the back of my shoulder, so we know that's not a good position to be in. So this one, there's a lot of different variations of this drill, but this one's called the Soldier Boy, where you're basically just gonna start with the ball out in front of you like this and give it less space to travel. It's a timing constraint because you don't have time to actually get all the way back here. It's kind of a rocker variation, so you're starting with your center mass very far out in front of you with your arm in front of you as well. So all you're gonna do is kind of just like the pendulum, you're gonna kind of let it die, get it behind you, and because you don't have as much time to continue to go backwards, this should give you the feeling of your arm staying in tight with you and getting up on time. So a good Soldier Boy will look like this. And that one should feel real good for you. If you have a late arm and you're not actively trying to fix it, what are you doing? Fixing the late arm is one of the easiest ways I have gotten more velo out of guys. It is the first thing I try to address whenever I do an assessment and see that the arm is late. Always keep in mind that a late arm is only late relative to your lower half timing. You can change the timing of your lower half. Changing the timing of the arm is often really, really tough to do. So try a whole bunch of different things to just make sure your arm is on time with its natural motion. The last thing you want to try to do is change your arm action. The way that you throw is the way that you throw. You can change all kinds of other things to try to get that thing on time, and these 3 drills should help you do that. If you have any questions or you need a little bit more guidance in your career, click the link below. I'm Craig Stem. We'll see you next time.